Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Visit GoCurrency.com. Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. And by Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Find out more at LibertyFirstCU.com.
Number 2, Will Barrett. Batting ninth and catching.
Welcome to Seymour Smith Park for the second edition of Corn Belt League Baseball on News Channel Nebraska. My name is Jake Bartecki. Seated to my right at our News Channel Nebraska booth is Mr. Andy Klassen. And let me tell you, Andy, right now is an exciting time to be a baseball fan in Nebraska and especially in Omaha. Obviously, you've got the College World Series going on, but you've also got the Corn Belt and a good matchup tonight between the Railriders and the Omaha Crop Dusters.
Yeah, I thought classes were out. Not the case when you're talking collegiate baseball here in the home of college baseball, and that is Omaha, Nebraska. This should be a really good one. We're talking about the Railriders and one of the expansion teams, if you will, the Crop Dusters, looking to get back on the board in the winning ways here tonight.
Yeah, once again, our matchup brought to you in part by Norris Public Power District, always there when you need us. These two teams met earlier this season, Andy. Railriders got the best of the Crop Dusters in that one. How's that going to change things here tonight?
Well, you know, we talked last week about how it was still kind of early in the season, and it still is. We're only in week 2 of Thursday night baseball, but you'd like to see some of those errors, some of those booted balls kind of cleaned up a little bit here tonight. And if that can happen for the Crop Dusters, I think they can come out on top.
Pre-game festivities getting underway here in Omaha. We'll be back for baseball on NCN.
The pregame show is sponsored by Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Corn Belt League Baseball on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com. Jake Bartecki, Andy Klassen, Omaha Crop Dusters, Omaha Railriders as we get ready to go here in Omaha. Starting lineups for this one. First, let's give you the rundown for the Crop Dusters. They'll be on defense to start this one. They are the home team. Andy Cisneros Jr. will be in center field, a Golden West Community College product. Ben Keski will be in left field. He comes from Iowa Central Community College. Cade Perry bats third. He'll play third base out of Washburn University. Tyler Bishop, one of several members of the SCC Storm. He'll be the designated hitter batting fourth for the Crop Dusters. Max Pfizer is the first baseman batting fifth out of Northeastern. Cooper Beneke, he'll be in right field out of Midland, and he'll bat sixth. Batting seventh, Chase Houselong, the shortstop. Batting eighth out of SCC, and the last three on the lineup for the Crop Dusters, all of from SCC. Will Barrett at second base, Elliot Peterson at catcher, and then Jack Everett on the mound. You see him warming up right there. The numbers on Jack Everett, he's only been in one game this year, Andy. No ERA, no earned runs. He's allowed to run, but he's 1-0 and has one strikeout. He's going to get some fresh start here tonight. He hasn't had much action, but he's going to get it here early.
Well, and that's a big part of this Corn Belt League. They don't wear out arms. It's really just for honing in on your skills, working on your craft, and getting better during the off-season, during the summer months, heading into your collegiate season. So that's why you're going to see innings really limited for the arms here in a league such as this.
And the Railriders 4-3, Peyton Blinn, Stephen Matchin, and Kenneth Christensen due up here. First pitch to Blinn, high for a ball, 1-0. Blinn, Matchin, Christensen at the top of the order. The middle is Max Torres, Jack Schaefer, and Chris Bollifer. 7, 8, 9, Josh Cuniff, TJ Swaney, Miles Gardino, and Carlos Chavez, the designated hitter. It'll be Nick Mersick on the mound.
Couple high fastballs to start this one off.
2-0, and another high fastball. This one fouled off by Blinn.
Boy, Everett just challenging the batter here in Blinn, just going right after him. Inside fastball, then another high heater right across the middle.
Blinn batting .389 to start the season. His only extra base hit, a double, and it came when these two teams met a couple weeks ago. This one fouled off right side, count evens at 2. So, all of a sudden you see Everett battle back, down 2-0. He's now one pitch away from his first strikeout of the evening, and that would be his second of the season.
Right, in limited amount of work as well, as you mentioned earlier.
A 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We mentioned it, Andy. Another high fastball, and he sets Blinn down on strikes.
Really appreciate how Jack Everett there is setting the tone. That's a message, type of an opening at bat there, where he's like, I'm going to challenge you guys. It's going to be heater, fastball, and he's not really messing around much early on here in the top of this first inning.
Our lineups are brought to you in part by Certified Piedmontese Beef. Right side of the infield, it's Pfizer at first, Barrett at second, shortstop is Hessling, and then Perry at third.
A little bit of movement there on that changeup, and that was all set up with that continuous string of fastballs during that first at bat.
The 0-1. One in there for a strike. 0-2. That one had some drop to it.
Yes, it did. He went to that curveball, looks like twice in a row, really. Kind of changing things up here.
No balls, 2 strikes. That one's fouled off. Railriders 4-3, coached by head coach Josh Francisco.
Love old Coach Francisco. Glad to have him back here this season.
Yep. The 0-2. Everett tried to go for another strikeout there, but good discipline by Matchin. The Cal Miramar product, not chasing the pitch on the outside part of the plate. First righty he's faced this afternoon and evening. A 1-2. Another one lifted foul.
I really like Everett's fastball right now. No one's really been able to get around on it. And if he can, like that one, inside, low, great location. If he could just keep that up, I think that might be his key to success here tonight.
1-2, ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's still way ahead in the count here, Jake, so he can go ahead and try and throw that low outside fastball, see if he can get a batter trying to protect, go after it.
Well, he set down Blinn for the first out, the only out of the ball game, on strikes with a high fastball. The 2-2 goes back to a fastball here, and that one timed up pretty well by Matchin, but fouled on the third base line.
I would say so. Matchin was sitting on that fastball and it was right down the pipe, rifled it down the third base line. Fortunate for the crop dusters, it was well fouled.
Stephen Matchin will play second base this evening when the Railriders take the field. A 2-2. This one lifted high and deep. Good distance, but also a good bit fouled on the left field line.
I would say so. That cleared the fence by a good distance. And that was an amazing adjustment there, going from fastball to the changeup and still getting around on it and lifting it out of the ballpark.
2-2. Couple of well-timed pitches by Matchin. The 2-2, that one just off the plate, and the count runs full.
Excellent eye at plate discipline there from Match the batter. Oh, great pitch. That was on the plate. Another one of those high fastballs. Couldn't catch up to it. Fouled it off. Stayed alive, though. Now Everett's thinking, do I go back to the fastball? He's timing it up. He knocked one of my curveballs out of the park. Just foul.
Just foul. Yeah.
Yeah, but where am I going to go here on this payoff pitch? 90
degrees. Couple of clouds in the area, but not much wind. The flag straight away to dead center 410. No movement, and that pitch catches Matchin on his front foot on the backside. Either way, if it was a ball or a hit by pitch, it's a man on with one out, Andy Klassen.
And that was a heck of an at-bat by Matchin. He got behind, as you mentioned, stayed in there, fouled off a couple of really tough pitches that, you know, Jack Everett was thinking, okay, here's another punch-out for me. Here's a strikeout. Not the case. Matchin staying alive, fouling a couple off, drawing the walk.
And that brings up Kinnick Christensen batting .357. Go along with that .357. 3 runs scored, 5 hits, 5 driven in. His only extra base hit is a triple as he takes one outside, 1-0. Product out of St. Cloud State up in the Gopher State of Minnesota.
Doing a really nice job laying off pitches that are out of the zone, forcing Everett to come to him.
Again, Jack Everett out of Southeast Community College in Beatrice. 2-0, runner goes. And no throw behind the plate from Peterson, so getting into second safely with stolen base number 4 on the season is Stephen Matchin. Count now 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on second, 1 out here in the top of the first for the Railriders.
Boy, that appeared to be a hit and run.
2-1. Swing through a big changeup, and it's 2-2.
Matchin just had such a good jump and lead there at first base. You get a look at it on the Madison County Bank instant replay. Got in standing up.
2-2. The conventional double play is at least out of the equation here after the stolen base by Matchin.
You covering your own bases here, the conventional double play.
2-2. This one lifted to center field. Cisneros Jr. to his right makes the catch in the gap, and that's out number 2.
So even with the runner on second base, scoring position here, Jack Everett can help himself out here, get himself out of a little bit of a jam in this first inning.
So that'll bring up Max Torres, the left fielder, another product out of Cal Miramar. Comes in with 2 out, 1 on, a runner on second. First pitch.
Oh.
Fastball inside, 1-0. That fastball had some velocity.
Yes, it did, and I really like that location. I know it was just off the plate, but I like where he located that. Low inside, trying to tie up the batter.
1-0, runner heads for third. The throw, Matchin, did he get under the tag? He did not. A beautiful throw down by Peterson. The tag by Perry ends the inning. So the walk with 1 out, couple of stolen bases, does not come back to haunt the Crop Dusters. And after a half inning, we head to break. No score. Omaha Crop Dusters coming to bat.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. If your business needs help financing big-ticket items, visit GoCurrency.com for details. And by Custom Sports. Represent your school and look good doing it with Custom Sports.
Woodhouse brings you the experts and insight to keep your vehicle road ready. From regular maintenance to larger issues, our team of service advisors and brand certified techs have the solutions to get you and your vehicle back on the road. Plus, you can enjoy convenience of scheduling online, amenities like pickup and delivery, and for quick fixes, comfortable lounges within our dealerships. Bringing you more every time since 1975. Service with Woodhouse.
And there you see Ryan Mercek, the product out of Southeast Community College, coming in to pitch for the Omaha Railriders this evening. He comes in with a 3-0 record in 4 games with a 1.62 ERA, dozen strikeouts, 5 walks. He's allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned, and that coming in 13 innings of work. Andy Klassen, what do you like about him?
Well, I really like those numbers to start with. It obviously shows that he has a couple really good go-to pitches that he needs to dial up for that strikeout when he's looking for that sit-him-down type of pitch. He's got a couple of different options that he can go to.
It'll be Andy Cisneros Jr., Ben Keski, and Cade Perry, 1, 2, and 3, due up to face Mersick this evening. And our first inning is brought to you in part by USAFE Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all of our customers. Omaha Crop Dusters, coached by Wes King, 3-1 on the season, as Cisneros, Keski, and Cade Perry get ready to come to the plate as the Golden West Community College makes his way into the right-handed batter's box. No score after a half an inning. A walk and a caught stealing over at third base pretty much summed up the top of the first for the Railriders. Mersick gets ready to deal the first pitch of the evening, and it's low for a ball, 1-0. So both pitchers start their evening with pitches outside the strike zone. The 1-0.
Boy, Mersick has a real compact delivery, not a real high leg kick, not a lot of motion, wasted motion, if you will. Very direct from mound to plate.
And you see him from the set there. Works quickly on the 1-1, check swing, but going around is Cisneros. Cisneros Jr. comes into this one batting .371. Pair of stolen bases. He's been walked twice. He's got a trio of hits, and he is 3 for 8 this season.
Off to a fantastic start. Just kind of got tied up there and lost in no man's land on that last half swing.
1-2. This one lifted into no man's land in right field, and it'll drop down in front of Gardino, and that puts the leadoff man aboard. Fourth hit of the campaign for Cisneros Jr., and the leadoff man aboard here for West Kings Crop Dusters.
Cisneros just did a really good job going down and just taking that ball to the opposite field. Good for a base hit. Didn't get a lot on it. Didn't put much into it. But wouldn't you know it, lead man is on board at first base. As they always say, put the ball in play, good things happen.
And he hit it right where Gardino was not in the area to make the catch. And it brings up Ben Keski. Iowa Central Community College product lays off 1-0. Keski on the season, .333. His 3 hits, a single, a triple, and a double. How about that? One of each.
Already hitting for the cycle here.
Just needs a home run.
Yeah, just needs a dinger here for the season cycle early on.
And ball 1 strike.
That was a good comeback pitch right there from Mersick as he checks the runner back to first. But he just kind of appeared he was pitching around, the first couple of batters here. At some point, you just got to get one across the plate, get a strike recorded, and I think that's what that last pitch kind of did for Nick Mersick.
Mersick again, 3-0, 1.62 ERA. Dozen strikeouts to 5 walks. The 1-1.
Oh.
Beautiful fastball there. Blows it by Keski, and it's 1-2.
I just think that compact delivery really helps him out. That ball's in on these batters really before they're ready for it, if they're not in their stance.
Got him. 1-2, and caught in a rundown is Cisneros Jr. Nobody back at first base, and coming over from the mound, and he's back safely. So all that for naught, as Mersick couldn't get back and make the tag. Andy, what went wrong there on the defensive side?
Well, bad communication between who was supposed to get back behind first base. Mersick just kind of half a daisical kind of lazily got over there, and even so, he was still there in time to make the tag, but didn't get the glove down. Had a couple chances there to help himself out. Couldn't get her done.
So all it goes down as is a failed pickoff attempt. 1-2 lifted foul.
But it was just a fabulous move. Quick move back to first base, and he unable to pay himself off with the tag.
On deck is Cade Perry out of Washburn University. Check back over to first base. No run down here. Cisneros Jr. back in under the tag. He's got the oven mitt on, so you got to think he's going to run at some point.
Is that the indicator?
Sometimes it is. 1-2. Doesn't run there as Keski at the plate lays off a high fastball. Count even at 2.
You really see that, especially in the college ranks. Anybody that wouldn't be on the weightman's relay in track
Yep.
wears the oven mitt. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I would probably wear one too.
I would as well.
Protect my hand a little bit.
2-2. High fastball fools Keski, and he's set down on strikes. So both pitchers with an early first inning strikeout, as that's strikeout number 13 on the year for Nick Mersick, and that is his first of the evening.
Boy, Mersick really dialed that one up. Felt like he put a little extra oomph on that high fastball, that high cheese for the strikeout.
Back over to first, Cade Perry back safely, Cisneros back safely. Cade Perry to the plate. Perry batting .364. A single, double, triple, and an RBI. Struck out twice, walked once. Another that's got a good diversity of base knocks.
Man, Crop Dusters really have a strong group of batters at the top of their order. There's no doubt about that.
All over 300, 364, 375, 333.
And they're looking good. I mean, you're a fashionable guy, Jake. What do you think of that powder blue there that the Crop Dusters are wearing?
I do like it. I do like it. It kind of reminds me of, a retro Dodgers jersey.
There you
that type
go,
of color.
yeah. Old Minnesota Twins. I think they wore
Montreal Expos.
Yep.
The Toronto Blue Jays. It's a good baseball color, that powder blue.
It is.
One ball, one strike, one out. That one off the plate, 2-1.
And I don't know if you can get a better mascot, the Crop Dusters,
It's interesting. I'll say that. People are fans, I will say.
Huge part of agriculture, and this is the Corn Belt League, right?
Indeed. Boy, swinging out of his shoes is Perry, but he was fooled by something off speed, and the count evens at 2 as Nick Mersick looks for his second straight strikeout in the second out of the inning.
Apari was sitting on that fastball, didn't get it way out in front. As you mentioned, really coiled up and swung through that one.
The 2-2 pitch. Chopped towards third for Christensen. On to Matchin for second. Over to first. The throw is in time, says the infield umpire. Boy, that was a close one, but it goes down as an inning-ending double play. 5-4-3. And we'll head to the second. No score after 1. This is Corn Belt Baseball on NCN.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs.
He was safe.
All backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. The wedding bands will be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
There you see it, the scoreboard here at J.J. Isaacson Field, reading no runs, a hit, no errors for the Crop Dusters. Zeros on the scoreboard for the Railriders as Jack Schaefer looks to change that. Schaefer, Bollifer, and Cuniff do up. That's center field, DH, and catcher, all to face Jack Everett. First pitch of the inning here, upstairs for a ball, 1-0.
Tried to go to the changeup on that opening pitch, just didn't get down in the zone for him, and Max Torres not taking the hack.
Jack Everett with one strikeout in the first inning, both pitchers with one. That one in their first strike, count evens at 1. Schaefer this season still looking for his first hit, And he might have it here if he hustles, but a nice play at second, and the throw over is in time. Really nice play from the shortstop, Hansler.
Hansler did a great job right from the get-go, charging that ball, scooping it up cleanly, and the quick exchange from leather to hand to get over there in time.
And it almost looked like Everett might have had a chance at it. Boy, another one that looked like he was safe. First pitch here is low for a ball, 1-0.
Schaefer doing a nice job laying off that first pitch, being selective.
1-1 count.
And I'll tell you what, Jack Everett, he's trying to work that off-speed pitch, a little bit of a curveball, and it's hanging up on him, and that's a dangerous pitch to leave up in the zone.
1-1. Schaefer gives this one a charge down the left field line, 1-2. So, Andy, that's the second time we've seen a batter, and I believe it was Peyton Blinn back in the first inning. First batter before he struck out. Timed one up a couple of times, and you see it again there from Schaefer.
Yeah, they're just getting out in front of it and ripping it down that third baseline, and Everett's got to feel a little fortunate. There he was. That's the pitch he was looking for. Good movement on that outside part of the plate.
Well, it all usually works out when you get a swinging strike. Second strikeout of the ball game for Jack Everett, and he'll look to end the inning with Chris Bolifer. Comes from the University of Minnesota Crookston, the DH this evening for the Railriders. First pitch, way outside, 1-0. That one got to the backstop as well.
And so, I mean, it hasn't been, clear sailing here for Everett. He's had his issues early on here, but he's able to bear down and make the pitches when he needs to thus far.
Bolifer batting .500 on the year, and he takes another one inside, 2-0. So a strikeout for Everett of Schaefer, and now Bolifer takes a couple, one outside, way outside, high and outside, and one that nearly got to the backstop again. So,
man, and if I'm Bolifer, I'm really going to be selective on this. I am not lifting the lumber off my shoulder unless it's right where I want it.
2-0. Does as Andy says, takes one upstairs, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, good take there. And I was thinking that, earlier in the first inning where a lot of those balls were staying up, elevated in the zone. They weren't strikes coming from Jack Everett.
3-0. Upstairs, and from a strikeout to a 4-pitch walk to continue the inning. It's the second walk issued by Everett. So a couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks here in the early going.
And that's just it. I mean, if you can come to the plate and have supreme discipline, patience, and force a guy like Jeff Everett to hit those spots, have that location dialed in, you're going to gain a lot of walks, and you're also going to force him to come to you, maybe take a little bit off of his fastball and try and get a strike across the plate, something that you can work with.
Josh Cuniff, the catcher, to the plate, takes one outside, 1-0. So now 5 straight balls, none of them really close, issued by Everett. This was really smooth. Still hasn't given up a hit, knock on wood, but as we're through here, an inning and 2/3. But this is probably the roughest we've seen him in these early going.
Yeah, he really just has to bear down and deliver a strike here. I mean, he's got to put one right down the middle. And this is where you want to be if you're a batter. Cuniff is just going to be sitting on a fastball here. One of the favorite counts for a batter, 0-2.
2-0 the count.
Or 2-0, excuse me.
2-0. Does not drop in, says the home plate umpire, and it's 3 balls, no strikes.
That was pretty gosh darn close as Jack Everett takes a little bit of a stroll around the mound there to try and gather himself.
3 balls, no strikes. As Everett tries to get out of the inning, 2-out walk already issued.
Ooh.
They get back-to-back 2-out walks and 8 straight balls in the process.
And even when that was at 2-0, as kind of takes his time trotting into first base there, you kind of saw his mindset was, I'm not swinging at anything until I hear that called strike, and good on him. It worked for a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, Wes King going to come out and have a conversation with his starting pitcher, Jack Everett. Gives us an opportunity to say The second inning is brought to you in part by Faith Regional Physician Services. When hard work hits you hard, have faith. He's Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki. No runs, no hits, no errors for these Railriders, but they've got runners on with 2 outs. No runs, a leadoff single from Andy Cisneros Jr. for the Crop Dusters. It's all they have on their scoreboard as well.
And you got to think that was a pretty quick, easy meeting for head coach King to make. Hey, we just need to start throwing strikes. This is real early in the game. You got a good thing going thus far. Got a little adversity here. Let's get that third out.
We'll see if he can do it. Coming to the plate, TJ Swanee, the first baseman out of Dominican, takes one upstairs.
And that off-speed pitch, that curveball, that is just staying well out of the zone here for Jack Everett.
Good lead for both Cuniff and Bolifer at first and second.
There it is.
1-0 drops in, and that is the first strike Everett has thrown in the last 9 pitches. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The kick and deal. Upstairs and outside, 2-1.
Oh, man. I mean,
Things not going well for Everett, are they, Andy?
No, and he's not missing by much, but you can tell that's up in the zone. And Blue, you know, the umpire, that's how he's been calling it thus far, staying consistent.
It's 3 balls, 1 strike. All it takes is 1 out to get out of the inning, and it's crisis averted for the Crop Dusters. The 3-1, swing and a miss, 3-2, goes to an off-speed pitch. And it seems like he's had a little bit more control with those this past inning.
Right. When he takes a little bit off, to me it kind of looks like he's taking a little bit off his fastball, just trying to get something across the plate, but it slows it down a little bit. The batters are out in front of it.
The 3-2 forthcoming with runners on first and second. Everett looking to get out of the inning. Runners go. The 3-2 is called strike 3. It's a 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Everett, and it ends the inning. Back-to-back 8-pitch walks do not come back to hurt Jack Everett and the Crop Dusters. They're coming to bat here in the bottom of the second.
Experience what banking local feels like. Bank of the Valley is owned and managed by the people within our community. This means our decisions are made right here by people who care about you and the communities we serve. Knowing our customers personally helps our experienced team provide the best solutions as your banking needs and goals change. Stop into our newest branch in Schuyler, Nebraska, or visit any of our other bank locations in person or online. Bank of the Valley. Together, we go further.
We feel it at the grocery store, when we pay our cable bill, or purchase our favorite coffee. Costs are on the rise. That's not true with electricity. For the past 10 years, customers in communities served by Nebraska Public Power District have enjoyed no annual overall rate increases. So, considering how electricity powers our everyday, it remains a great value. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Tyler Bishop, Max Pfizer, and Cooper Beneke due up against Nick Mersick here in the bottom of the second. No score. We welcome you back to J.J. Isaacson Field at Seymour Park in the Ralston area of Omaha. Andy Klassen with myself, Jake Bartecki. Glad you made us part of your Thursday night on News Channel Nebraska. Tyler Bishop, the FCC product, leads off, but he won't be a member of the Storm much longer. Andy, on Tuesday, committed to UNO. How about that?
Not bad at all, and he's one of the more versatile players here for the Crop Dusters. Does a little catching, a little infield. Plays second base and first base.
He plays designated hitter tonight, takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1. The numbers on Bishop this season, in this young season, just 4 games having been played. He's batting 154. He's knocked in 1 run, lays off a pitch outside, counts even at 1. Side turn to the plate. Mersick delivers the 1-1, and it's a chopper to Hopper to Christensen. He throws over to Swaney at first, and that's out number 1.
Back-to-back. Solid plays from Christensen out of the hot pocket there at third base. Turned that double play to close out the previous inning. Just a really quick exchange. That time, as you mentioned, charged in on that double hop. Didn't allow for any funny business. That little short hop getting off the dirt. Gotta love that aggressive nature from your third baseman.
And Mersick playing for ground balls with his pitches.
Yeah, I really like how Mersick's keeping it low. You know, that low strike zone. Really trying to work the lower part of that zone.
Max Pfizer out of Northwestern Community College comes in. This one in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to the first baseman, Pfizer.
Yeah, we're almost seeing like opposite approaches here from these two starting pitchers. Mersick really working that fastball, keeping it low, zipping it in. Jack Everett's real deliberate up there, and he likes that off-speed pitch, and a lot of them kind of hang up high in the zone.
That one chopped foul, 1-2. Again, Mersick comes into this one with more experience on the year, 3-0 in 4 appearances and 13 innings, but just the second appearance. And Jack Everett, in that second appearance, has already matched the number of innings he'd thrown all year, having thrown the first 2 here.
And he's been able to get himself out of a couple of jams. He's been able to get a couple of strikeouts, help himself in big moments thus far. So all is well so far here for the two starting pitchers.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh.
Pfizer swings through a curveball low in the zone, and that is strike 3, out number 2, and strikeout number 2 for Nick Mersick. He's now up to 14 on the season, and it'll look to make this a 1-2-3 inning as Midland's Cooper Beneke comes in for his first trip to the plate.
And that was a well-executed pitch right there, Jay. Got up on the batter, knew he had a couple pitches he could work with. Another curveball, but number 25, Beneke gets a hold of it.
Drove that one just a bit to the gap. Nice job by Torres in left field. He kind of turned the gap into more left center.
Right.
Was able to get over there and make a play. I thought that was extra bases when it left. You see it on the Madison County Bank instant replay. Torres did a nice job getting in front of it.
He really did, motoring over there and getting it back to the infielders in a hurry. Didn't really get much of an option.
So here in the second, both teams get a runner on with 2 outs. Chris Bolifer walked for the Crop Dusters. Cuniff did as well, back-to-back before a strikeout. And now you see Beneke get the single to left, and it's 1-0 to Chase Houselog. 2-0 now to Houselog. He plays shortstop this evening, comes in batting .250, 1 for 4 on the year.
Oh. Yeah, just behind that fastball. When Mersick dials it up, I tell you what, it just seems like it hits another gear. Really gets in on the batter. And I think that windup, you know, he doesn't waste much motion. That helps him with that.
2-1 the count with 2 outs and a runner aboard. Mersick misses high and outside. It's 3-1.
Yeah, just kind of got away from Mersick there.
Beneke a single to left to continue the inning. He stands aboard first base. A stolen base on the year. 3-1 swung on and missed. Mersick goes back to an off-speed pitch. Houselog couldn't dial it up, and it's full.
Yeah, Houselog just swung right through that one. Now we got the payoff pitch coming. 3-2 count.
3-2. Mersick looking for strikeout number 3 to tie Everett in that category, and he will. He ends the inning with a swinging strikeout, his 3rd of the ball game, and a 2-out single does not come around for the Crop Dusters. We'll head to the 3rd. No score here from Omaha.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Protect your investment and your peace of mind. With the John Henry's Membership Club, you'll get treated like family. We make you a priority and ensure comfort, safety, and savings. With our Heating and Cooling Membership Club, you'll find comfort knowing your system is doing its job properly. You'll get priority service plus exclusive discounts, 24-hour guaranteed service, and so much more. We also offer dryer vent clearing plans and annual humidifier services. How's that for peace of mind? John Henry's, our family, serving yours since 1996.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. No score after a pair of innings down. Andy, still goose eggs on the scoreboard for the Railriders. A couple of hits, 2 singles for the Crop Dusters. But, you know, we saw this last week in our matchup between the Black Sox and the Royal Blue Dogs. It was a pitcher's duel all the way till about the 5th inning.
Yeah.
And that's when things went haywire.
Yeah, that's exactly a thought that went across my mind, too, was last week, you know, the Royal Blue Dogs had their opportunities early, just couldn't convert, couldn't manufacture those runs, and tip your cap to those couple of starting pitchers. They're able to get themselves out of jams, much like we've seen early on here tonight. Great opening pitch right there from Jack Everett. Bottom drops out for the opening strike here of this 3rd inning.
Yeah, Miles Gardino, Carlos Chiprez, and Peyton Blinn do up. That's 9, 10, and 1, as it is here in the Corn Belt League. You got 10 batters.
Yes, get that DH in there, get an extra at bat. Some of these players that aren't taking the field on this evening or that game. Everett really working the inside portion of the plate. Got the strike on the previous pitch. Not so much on the 0-2.
Gardino plays right field out of West Valley College.
Ouch.
1-2 fouled it off. Was that his knee or his ankle? He went down hard either way. And that hurts.
Yes.
Either way, I've had that happen to me. I'm sure you have too.
Right. Does not feel good. And as you said, he went down right away. Umpire's going to allow for catcher and pitcher to have a little word here. And
there you see it right off his shin.
Yeah. Also allows for Gardino to kind of take a moment to himself here.
Gardino batting .231 on the season, 5 driven in, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts, 3 doubles. That leads the team. And this one is in double territory as well if it has the distance, but it does not. Moving over to his left is Cisneros Jr., and there's one gone.
Well, Eddie Cisneros just has such great speed and makes it look easy, doesn't he? Had a really good jump on it. He has those sunglasses out there as we have that sun starting to set. Could be an issue. The lights are on, but we saw that during that old Stanford, Texas closeout game out in that Super Regional. Did you watch that one? Unbelievable.
And Stanford got in.
Then Stanford got in. Put the ball in play right.
Put the ball in play. That's all it takes. Carson Chiprez takes strike 1. College World Series is a fun time.
It really is. And, you know, we're watching Nebraska collegiate baseball right here in front of our eyes, and being a Nebraska broadcast when we can kind of bring up Texas, tripping up a little bit.
Yep.
Why not?
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with a little horns down action.
Yeah.
1-1, big fastball. Chiprez, the Southeast Community College product, swings through it, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
You got to wear it. Either way, you got to wear it.
Right. So do you have a team you're going to pull for in the College World Series?
You know, I really like the way Texas Christian is swinging the bats. They are just mashing right now.
1-2, blooper into right field, and the 10-hole hitter comes through for the Railriders. Chiprez. Bloop single to right field, and it's 1 on, 1 out, and the first hit of the night for the Railriders.
Once again, not trying to do too much with it, going opposite field, gets just enough on it to get over to the second baseman here, and that's good. That's just a good at bat, a good hit for Chiprez, number 1-7.
Peyton Blinn comes in 0 for 1 with a strikeout, not to bring up the pass, but last time you picked TCU, I believe you were wrong, and that was in football. This one's grounded towards second. There's going to be no play either way. They do get the runner at second base. I thought that was going to be a save for Chiprez at second base. He just got in under the tag, Andy.
But Blue's saying the glove was down. They're going to dial him up at second base. Another quick exchange, though, from From leather to hand there, second baseman, who's at number 2, Will Barrett. Another one of these Southeast Community College is playing for the Crop Dusters.
So it goes down as a fielder's choice. Had a couple of those close play on the bags, haven't we?
We really have. And, you know, early on, I like being aggressive on the base path and this and that, but, you know, when it's early in a game and you have an opportunity, you're in scoring position, sometimes it's better not to roll the dice and just let that at-bat play out and see if you can get knocked around, you know, and tally that first score, that first run.
1-0. Upstairs, 2-0.
Uh-oh. Oh,
and as we were talking about, some close plays on the base paths.
I think Blinn was sleeping a little bit over there.
And remember, Blinn was caught stealing, trying to get to third. He does have a stolen base to his credit, but it was canceled out after he was caught stealing from second to third, and that ended the inning back in the first.
Nice
Popped
pitch.
up on the infield. Barrett makes the catch, and that ends the inning.
Fantastic comeback inning there for Jack Everett, tying up the batter, getting in on his hands, popping him up for an easy infield fly.
No score after 2.5. We'll head to the bottom of the third.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Three hits, but no runs as the Crop Dusters get ready to send Will Barrett, Elliot Peterson, and Jack Everett to the plate here in the bottom of the third. Glad you could join us on this Thursday night. I'm Jake Bartecki. He's Andy Klassen. Boy, Andy, it's warm. We're still in the upper 80s as we're coming up on 8 o'clock, but other than that, pretty gorgeous night for baseball.
It really is. I mean, that's baseball weather, right? We got the overcast sky here, so it's not too hot on the players down the field. And the field just looks fantastic here at Seymour Smith J.J. Isaacson Field. Yeah. Great shape early on this season.
Straight pattern of green and brown on the infield and outfield as Barrett, the member of the SCC Storm, second baseman tonight, takes a strike.
Made a couple of fine plays on the defensive side and wants to carry that momentum here to the offense.
Made the catch to end the inning just a little bit ago.
Yes, he did. Also scooped up kind of a goofy grounder, a little double hop, got it over to second base, got the force.
See if he can get his offense going. Still looking for his first base hit of the season. That one had potential, but it's lifted fouled on the right field line. That's 1-2. Third inning is brought to you in part by Strike Zone. Train here, compete anywhere. Again, our third inning brought to you in part by Strike Zone.
You know, that's another fantastic part for these players of the Corn Belt League. They get to train at the facility at the Strike Zone whenever they want, any day of the week, and it's indoor. You mentioned it's hot out here tonight. Not the case at the Strike Zone.
Some heat right there on a fastball for Mersick. Gets his fourth strikeout and his third in his last four batters faced, and there is one gone here in the third.
Tell you what, Mersick is doing some damage with that low fastball. Just fantastic location, great delivery. He's executed some pitches here thus far.
Last three in the order, 8, 9, and 10, all out of the Beatrice area at Southeast Community College, and that's Barrett, who's set down on strikes, and then Elliot Peterson, who's at the plate now on deck, Jack Everett.
Hey, we've called a game from that
We
stadium,
have called
haven't
games
we?
from Christensen Field together, haven't we not? Home of the Beatrice Orangemen and the SCC Storm. Is that one in the dirt? 1-1. Fine ballpark.
It really is. You know, on the outskirts of town there. And is that 410 at dead center, just like we have here tonight, or is that?
I think it's a little shorter. I think it's 400 straight.
400. It looks deep, though. You know, it's one of those ballparks. It just looks so deep. And, man, did we see quite the jolt put into one.
Pitchers don't see it that deep when there's a wind blowing out, though. This one grounded over towards third. 5-3 for out number 2.
Christensen just so solid thus far over there at third base. Once again, charges in with the glove. Easy exchange. Ball's on a line. The delivery to first base.
Jack Everett comes in. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here we'll go to Cisneros. So it looks like Everett not batting tonight for the Crop Dusters.
And that's okay. He wants to focus on pitching. He wants to keep his head in the game there, and a lot of times that's what you see with pitchers.
So you've got a 9-batter order here. This one grounded towards shortstop, Blinn to Swaney, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Crop Dusters in the third. We're halfway home. We'll head to the fourth. This is Corn Belt League Baseball on NCN.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
it wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
We welcome you back to J.J. Isaacson Field as we get ready for the top of the fourth. Christensen, Torres, and Schaefer due up for the Railriders. Andy, we're still starting to see a little bit of offense, but still a pitcher's duel much to this point in the ballgame.
You know, I got a little animated as Jack Everett closed out that last inning, and that was because he didn't have his best stuff, and he might not have his best stuff here tonight, but he's bearing down, figuring out a way to generate outs, and he got himself out of a jam and delivered a really nice pitch in on the hands of that last batter to get him out of that last inning. So it's always impressive to me when a pitcher can just bear down and generate outs for himself, even when he doesn't have his best stuff.
So it'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Railriders. Kicked off by Kinnick Christensen, the third baseman out of St. Cloud State. He's ready to face Everett here to start the fourth. First pitch on its way. That one outside. And we noted that Everett did not bat. We got clarification the teams get the option if they wanted to, 9 batters versus 10. Obviously, West King wanting to go with 9 batters, so it gives his pitcher a little bit of a break and not batting, so they go with 9 tonight.
You know, whether you're talking to Coach Francisco over there for the Railriders or Hasty for the Blue Dogs, you know, they really like the versatility and kind of the freedom they get to coach with here at the Corn Belt League. There's not so many rules that kind of stand in your way, and it also helps to allow, like, if a kid doesn't want to take at bats or he does want to limit his innings pitched, you know, save his arm a little bit, work on his fundamentals, you can do that here at the Corn Belt League.
On the batting side of that is hence what we're seeing with Jack Everett. 2-0, lifted in the air to center, and Cisneros Jr. has no play, and it's a leadoff single, second hit of the ball game, second in as many innings for the Railriders as Christensen singles to center field.
You know, we've been talking about Christensen on the defensive side, making 2 or 3 really nice plays in the hot corner over there at third base. How many times do you see that momentum carry itself from the defensive side to the offensive side? Not just like in football and basketball, but here on the diamond as well.
So that'll bring up Max Torres. He's 0 for 1. Was at the plate when Peyton Blinn was caught heading for third to end the first, and then he grounded out to start the second. Count now 1-0.
Oh,
and a swing and a miss, 1-1.
Really nice pitch. Once again, it feels like Everett's kind of getting a little bit more comfortable up there on the bump.
One ball, one strike. Kick and deal, check, swing. Went around, says the home plate umpire. Now, do you think that was a went around, or was that in on the outside part of the strike zone?
I thought it might have caught that outside corner.
I was kind of thinking the same way. 1-2 the count, and Everett one pitch away from a fourth strikeout and a big first out here in the fourth. Swing and a miss, strike three, and a throw down to first base gets over the glove of Pfizer. I think it just got a piece of it to keep it from trickling too far into the right field grasp. So back safely is Christensen, but strikeout number 4 and out number 1 for Jack Everett.
Really gotta love that at bat. If you're a Crop Duster fan, Jack Everett fan, allows the first runner to get back on base, but comes back with a strikeout, gets back on top, got on top of the batter early in the count, early in that at bat, able to execute a strikeout.
Schaefer, one of 4 strikeout victims for Everett. He comes in 0 for 1 with that strikeout, and he takes a strike there, 0 and 1. 1 on, 1 out, no score here in the fourth. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for both the Railriders and the Crop Dusters.
He's going.
Runner goes, and this one hit down the third base line, just foul, and it's 0 and 2.
And that's the second time tonight head coach Jonathan Francisco of the Red Riders has dialed up a hit and run. First time it was a swing and a miss, but he still got a stolen base out of the deal. That time, Schaefer was just out in front of it, actually pulled it foul down the third base line.
No balls, 2 strikes. Everett looking to make it back-to-back strikeouts and back-to-back first and second outs here in the fourth. Long glance over at Christensen, the 0-2, just upstairs, and it's 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Middle infield, just off the grass. You can see it in the top right corner of your screen there with Barrett, just about 2 steps in. The 1-2 upstairs, and it's 2 and 2. Our fourth inning brought to you in part by John Henry's, our family serving yours.
Everett getting up 0-2 in the count. That allows him to go ahead and try and work some of his junk, work some of his off-speed stuff here. See if he comes back with that fastball.
Big gap up the right side. The 2-2 fouled straight back, so we'll do it again.
He does, and I love where he placed that in on the hands of the batter. He's been able to work that pitch for a couple of Ks here thus far. Give some credit, though, to Schaefer, fouling it off, finding new life, prolonging this at-bat.
Yeah, Everett's 4 strikeouts, 3 swinging, 1 looking. He had 2 strikeouts back in the second inning. He's looking for his second here in the fourth. 2 and 2. Lifted towards Cisneros Jr. in center, comes in a few steps, puts it away for out number 2.
And right off the crack of the bat, Cisneros did a great job taking that half step back, then coming in. Didn't get himself in trouble. You see that every so often where an outfielder runs in, whoops, it's over my head. Andy Cisneros doing a really nice job taking that half step back, then going in after it.
So 2 outs. 1 on, and Chris Bolifer, the designated hitter, comes in. Check over to first base. Christensen back in time.
And that's one thing we haven't seen a lot from old Jack Everett, being that tall, lengthy, left-handed pitcher, kind of that prototypical lefty that you like to see out there. He has been able to look back a lot of runners, but he hasn't been thrown over to first too often.
Christensen doesn't have any stolen bases this season, so he's not a huge threat. Changeup dropped in for a strike. It's 0-1.
Boy, that had some movement on it, Jake. I mean, it started.
A lot of up to down.
Yes, far right, worked itself left, right at the end there for the strike.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
And Bolifer was just, He was looking for something the whole way. He did not get it, but he was already committed with that swing. Ended up kind of being a half swing look there at the end.
Last two at-bats that Everett has faced, he's gone up 0-2 on both of them. He's gotten outs as well. See if we can get another here to end the inning with Christensen on first. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike three. Won't matter. That's the third out of the inning and the fifth strikeout on the night for Jack Everett.
And a great job by Elliot Peterson, the catcher, hanging on to that one, ensuring the strikeout. All right, you know what time it is here, Jake. It's time for the Nebraska Brewing Company Trivia Question of the Night. I'm going to read this one to you, and we're going to take a quick break, let you mull over it a little bit, come back and see what you think. How many College World Series appearances has the Nebraska Cornhuskers made? 3, 5, or 6 all-time appearances to the College World Series? Put that phone away. You are not using Google for this. Let's send it to break and let you think about that a little bit.
All right, sounds good. No score after 3.5. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Certified Piedmontese Beef, Real Nebraska Beef, Region 4 Behavioral Health System, affordable, accessible, quality mental health and substance abuse services, and by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field as we get ready for the bottom of the fourth inning and the answer to our trivia question. How many College World Series has Nebraska made? Andy, I'm sure you know the answer.
I do know the answer. I come up with all these questions.
Is it 5?
Is that your final guess?
That's my final guess.
And it's actually 3, and it was just a fantastic run in a short period. It was Van Horn had 2 of them. Then a year or 2 later, Coach Anderson took them to 1, actually got that first win, and that was with that historic team, Java Chamberlain, Eric Gordon, and all those guys.
One fouled off right side as Ben Keski comes to the plate. So we never got, I think my pick for the College World Series this year, I'm going to go LSU.
I like that.
I don't know if anybody has an answer for Dylan Cruz.
No, his stuff has just been filthy, really, throughout the entire season.
He's got quite a swing, too. It is certainly, I was there earlier and I saw him take some batting practice, and I will say it is a vicious swing that he has.
Big guy.
1-1 the count to Keski. So 0-for-1, and this one sneaks through the left side of the infield. Christensen misplayed it. That'll go down as an error, and a base hit to left puts the runner on here to start the fourth.
Yeah, it took that little bit of a funny hop on Christensen, kind of ducked his head to the right and just zipped off his glove into the outfield. First man on board.
First error of the evening for either side, and it comes from Christensen at third base. 1 on, no one out here in the bottom of the fourth as we still look for our first run. Big time swing there from Cade Pari, and he swings through a fastball 0-1.
Big cut there from Pari.
Short lead over at first for Keski. Not much of a base stealing threat. He's got 1 on the year. 1 fouled off. Gets stuck in the fence. Get that camera over on that.
My goodness. I told you there's some heat on that fastball.
Yeah. Boy, and that's about halfway in there.
I know. That's demolished. They're not using that one again. Souvenir for a youngster, I suppose.
If it comes down. 0-2, runner goes, swing and a miss. That's strike 3, but getting over to second base safely is Keski. Gets his second stolen base of the season, but it's strikeout number 5, out number 1 for Nick Mercick as he sets down Pari on a strike.
Yeah, not sure if that was a hit and run. I don't think that was the case. I just think Pari got confused on a little bit of a curveball there and went fishing for it, came up empty for the strikeout.
Tyler Bishop, the soon-to-be University of Nebraska Omaha Maverick, comes to the plate, but not before. We have a quick conversation between the home plate and infield umpire here. Not sure what they could be talking about, Andy Klassen.
Well, just making sure the tag was down, I'm guessing, from the delivery from home plate on the stolen base to second.
Runner is safe. Keski stands on second. He reached down an error, gets to second on the stolen base. Well, either way, 1 out, 1 on. And the runner in scoring position for Tyler Bishop, as we talked about, committed to UNO earlier this week. First pitch off the plate for a ball.
Bishop able to take a pitch there. Puts himself in a really good position to work the runner over at least 90 feet or maybe even pick up an RBI.
Bishop still looking for his first RBI of the year.
And you could just see it right there. The young man out of Southeast Community College signing with UNO earlier this week. Congratulations, that young man. But he wanted to pull the trigger, thought better of it, able to take another pitch, get ahead in the count here, 2-0.
Runner on second. Good time for his first RBI of the summer would be right here for Tyler Bishop, but just as good might be a disciplined at bat as he takes a pitch upstairs, gets ahead 3-0.
Yeah, and this one you got to feel like it's got to be perfect. 3 balls in a row.
First time tonight, Nick Mersick has gone down 3-0. And swinging on 3-0 is Bishop, and he fouls one off into the parking lot right side, 3-1.
Yeah, and Tyler Bishop was behind that one. If you're sitting on a fastball, get ready because Mersick is bringing it, let me tell you. He's got good velocity.
The 3-1. That's ball 4, so the double play back into effect here for the Railriders, which isn't the worst situation as you bring up Max Pfizer, who's already 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Pfizer, a big batter here, looking to knock in a couple runs, at least get one guy in from second. Only 1 out, as you mentioned, Forrest at any bag, but this is still the position you want to be in if you're a crop duster.
And Pfizer still looking for his first hit of the season. Comes in with 1 out, runners on first and second. Skies this one in the air to center field, and misplaying it in center is Schaefer. This will score at least 1. Taking the turn for third is Bishop. Coming home to score is Keski, and it's an RBI double. First RBI, first base hit of the summer for Max Pfizer.
Right off the bat, I thought Keski was going to get back to second base and tag up, but he had a really nice read on it, understanding that was probably going to get lifted over the center fielder, motors around, gets home, and I really like the call there with Tyler Bishop hanging up, staying at third base. Only 1 out here, no 4, so you get a couple at bats here to try and push across another runner just 90 feet from third base rather than trying to roll the dice and have a play at the plate.
First RBI, first hit for Max Pfizer this summer, and it brings up Cooper Beneke, who takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Our first run of the ball game, and now we've got just 1 out and runners in scoring position. Base hit could make this a 3-0 ball game. Beneke thought about swinging the pitch outside, holds up, it's 1-1.
This is what the Midland University Warriors got to be thinking. I just need to lift one into the outfield here, get a hold of one, and that's going to be good for an RBI and get my team up 2-0.
Weak swing. Mersick will throw home for the force out. He'll go down as a fielder's choice. Put runners on the corners here with 2 away.
Yeah, that was kind of a tough spot there for Tyler Bishop. You're told if it's hit on the ground on the opposite field, go. But that was just such a lazy little dribbler. Easy play for Mersick to come in off the bump and chuck it home.
So got runners on the corners here for Chase Houselog, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout after a 12-pitch at-bat ended the second inning.
But these are the type of at-bats that usually you can kind of look back and make, that's the difference of the game. You know, 2 outs, you got a guy on third base. Can you get him across, or do you leave him out there to dry?
1-0 after a fastball stays up for Mersick. Again, Mersick 3-0, 1.62 ERA, and that run comes across unearned. If you'll remember, Ben Keski getting on base back in the top of the order here in the bottom of the 4th with an error by Christensen on third. Still no earned run, 1-1 the count.
this is where, you know, if I'm a base runner for the Omaha Crop Dusters, I'm being careful. There's 2 outs, runner in scoring position. There's no need to get that 3rd out on the bases in this spot.
1-1, swing and a miss at a changeup, and it's 1-2. Big spot in this one. Runners on the corners, a run across here in the 4th. It came home unearned. But Nick Mersick trying to limit the damage and get out number 3 right here. 1-2. Fastball high. It's count even at 2.
Just hung up on him. Still ahead, though, 2-2-2.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A run comes across unearned in the bottom of the 4th. It's a 1-0 lead for the Crop Dusters. We will head to the 5th. Railriders looking to tie this up or take the lead.
It's in our passion. It's in our achievements. It's in our architecture and our heritage. It's in the way we innovate and discover. It's how we engage and inspire. It's time to experience it for yourself. Peru State College. See what's in it for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're here at the grill, waiting for the flip.
He has a great hot lie here on the grill. Looks like he is going with the tongs here, Jim. A great choice.
Timing is everything.
Nailed it!
A flip for the ages.
What a flip. Perfect marks. I'd take a slice out of that one.
Certified Piedmontese. Real Nebraska beef. So tender and dripping in flavor, you won't believe a steak this good can be shipped right to your front door.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. Everybody enjoying the action here tonight, aren't they, Andy Klassen?
Is that what's left of that foul ball that worked its way through the fence?
Well, it went to a loving owner, if that's the case. 1-0 is our score as we get ready for the top of the 5th. An unearned run plated by the Crop Dusters in their half of the 4th inning. First base hit, first RBI for Max Pfizer on the year. And that is what has the Crop Dusters ahead 1-0 as we start the top of the 5th. Josh Cuniff, TJ Swaney, and Miles Gardino due up here for the Railriders, all to face Jack Everett, who stays in the ballgame. Still no action in either bullpen as Cuniff turns away from a pitch inside 1-0.
Yeah, and I think you got to feel a little fortunate if you're a Railrider or a Railrider fan, because that could have been bad news. The way the Crop Dusters were able to get all those base runners early in that inning, limiting to only one getting across. That's a small victory there, and then in that 4th inning.
Another one inside. It's 2-0. 2-0 is in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. 3 straight fastballs, 2 on the inside part of the plate, 1 down the pipe, Andy. What happened on that one that was different from the first 2?
Well, I like how he's made some adjustments here, and he's really working the inside portion of the plate, especially on these right-handed batters, and it's been working for him. And I'll tell you what, that was pretty gosh darn close as we have a 2-2 count now.
And that was a good pitch from Everett, who has himself 5 strikeouts on the year, all of them coming tonight. 2-2. Staying alive is Cuniff as he lays off a pitch high and outside, and it's full.
Yeah, that off-speed pitch, that's been staying high on him pretty consistently throughout the evening here, but give Jack a lot of credit. He's been able to find his pitches when he needed to.
3-2. Charge in the air to center field. Cisneros back on it, makes the catch. He's kept busy out there in center field, makes his 5th catch of the night, and it puts away the first out here in the 5th.
Yeah, and that also speaks to Jack Everett's style of pitching and how these batters aren't able to square it up and get a good look at it. A lot of these outs have been just pop-ups on the infield as well, not just to the outfielders, but the infielders have been gathering some pop-ups throughout this game.
First pitch there to T.J. Swaney, who is 0 for 1, went down looking to end the second inning. He takes a pitch off the plate, 1-0. 1-0 off the plate once again. It's 2-0. So Everett gets behind 2-0 in these first two batters here in the top of the fifth. See if he can battle back here as he did against Cunniff to get the first out of the inning. 2-0 upstairs, high, way high. It's 3-0.
And I think Swaney is going to be extremely selective here, especially after that last pitch, working the count to 3-0.
After a strikeout in the second, now has 4 walks, 4 strikeouts each, make it 5 walks and 4 strikeouts as that one gets the backstop, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Now, Andy, Jack Everett did that twice back in the second inning consecutively, and it came with 2 outs. At that point, it didn't come back to hurt him, but with an ailing arm, this is where you get more concerned about something like that happening.
You're exactly right, and these batters have been through the lineup a couple of times now, so they've already gotten a look at Everett and his stuff. And, yeah, if he keeps leaving these elevated up in the zone.
There's a chopper on the ground, and not being able to play it is Everett. That was hit into an odd part of the field. It was kind of equal distance between Pfizer at first and Jack Everett on the mound. And Everett tried to underhand flip it. Couldn't even scoop it up.
Yeah, that really was a tough play for the pitcher. And you saw the first baseman take a step in, then go back. And there was just no play for the second baseman, Will Barrett. He was playing deep, trying to cover second base on a steal type of scenario. Yeah, just a well-placed ball in the infield. And Jack Everett unable to help himself coming off to play some defense.
It goes down as an infield hit for Gardino, so the third hit of the ball game for the Railriders. And it brings up Carson Chiprez, the extra hitter, as he's listed on our score sheet tonight. Takes a strike, 0-1. A base hit could tie the ball game for the Railriders. The pitch popped up in the air. Cisneros looks like he'll make another play in center field. Puts it away. Runners stay put, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, just not getting enough on it. And as we just mentioned earlier in this inning, Everett doing a really good job using his defense, causing a lot of pop-ups here for the Railriders.
Peyton Blinn will come in. He's 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third and struck out as the first batter of the ball game back in the top of the first. With runners in scoring position this year, batting just a hair over 150. So we'll see if you can up that with a base hit here. Kick and deal.
Oh, nice pitch.
In there for a strike. And Blinn was thinking about taking a hack at it. Just briefly.
That had some movement on it. He thought better of it late, and if he wasn't sure, he was in hesitation. A lot of times you're better just staying put.
0-1 the count with 2 outs. Another nice pitch. Called a strike by the home plate umpire. And now with runners on first and second, and the Railriders, at least probably fitting of a definition in this game, threatening here in the fifth. Another big spot here for Jack Everett.
And this is where Everett's got to be careful. I'd like to see him stay a little more aggressive, not go to so many junk balls and leave one up there that could be, kind of batted around.
0-2. Just off the plate.
I'm okay with that pitch. Low, outside. See if the batters you want to go out and get it. What I wouldn't have been okay with the curveball up in the zone that didn't curve.
1-2 the count. We'll see if he does go to a breaking ball here. Might be that situation if you can keep it away.
Yeah, that's true.
1-2. It's called a ball by the home plate umpire. Boy, oh boy.
Oh, and Elliot Peterson, the catcher, thought he framed that one up perfectly, helping his pitcher out. Home umpire thinking, nah, that might have been off the plate a little bit.
Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. A kick and deal. Half swing poked foul down the third base line. Cisneros is playing just a few feet in. His outfielders in left and right and center.
And that's where Everett's been at his best, when he gets in on these batters. A tall, lanky left-hander, when he's able to tie up these guys and get in on their hands, good things have happened.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners on first and second in a 1-0 ball game. Base hit could tie it. Lead run stands on first. Poked in the air to center field, and 3 outs in the inning, all hit to center field and put away by Cisneros Jr. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th after the Railriders strand 2 in the top. This is Corn Belt League Baseball on NCN.
At Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN, listening to you to create an individualized healthcare plan that fits your needs and preferences is our top priority. Whether you need an annual checkup, specialized gynecology care, or pregnancy management, we partner with you to provide expert care using advanced practices, technology, and techniques. Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN. Care on your terms is the Faith difference.
From the moment you realized you needed ongoing care, to the long conversations with loved ones, and the scare of having to leave the home you've lived in for so many years, to the moment you realized you didn't have to meeting your caregiver for the first time, and those initial fears turning into new friendships, to the moment you felt more supported than you have in a really long time.
Thank you.
We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Got fans of all ages here at J.J. Isaacson Field here in Omaha, don't we, Andy Class?
Yes, we do, and we got a lot of little leaguers and pony leaguers, a lot of tournaments in town due to the College World Series, such a great event. Their games obviously just wrapped up and starting to fill in the stands here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Good to see the next wave of youngsters going and doing their game and then coming and enjoying some collegiate baseball here at Seymour Smith Park.
And I'll say hello to our cameramen right behind home plate. 1-0 the score, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Crop Dusters. No runs, 3 hits, an error at third base by Christensen for the Railriders, as 8, 9, and 1 due up here for the Crop Dusters. First pitch to Will Barrett, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, is in there for a strike.
Excellent opening pitch here for Mersick. Right down the pipe with that fastball.
We do have some action in the bullpen for the Railriders, as it looks like we've got a lefty loosening, Curtis Flint, getting his warm-up session. 1 ball, 1 strike. Also some action in the Crop Dusters bullpen as well, so it's getting to be that point in the ball game.
Well, it's not early any longer. It's bottom of the 5th here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Barrett 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That made up the first out in the 3rd. 1 and 2. That one inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As a reminder, stay tuned after the game for our top plays of the game, brought to you by Currency. Of course, on our post-game show, interviews with players of the game, coaches of the game, and as we just mentioned, our top plays brought to you by Currency. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Mersick, and he gets strike 3. Late decision by the home plate umpire, but it's called strike 3. Strikeout number 7 on the evening.
It looked like a little bit of a slider or a cutter, and it just went right across the plate. And the umpire had to think about it. Did it still hang on to that outside corner enough? Yes, it did. Opening strikeout. You still see the velocity from Nick Mersick, a right-handed pitcher here for the Railriders.
First strikeout of the ball game looking for Mersick, as this one's blooped into right field. Gardino has a long run, sliding, and he makes the catch. Hang a star on it. 1 pitch, 1 out after the strikeout, and there are 2 away.
That might be a Sports Center top 10 right there. Sliding down, going and getting, helping his pitcher out.
Well, Sports Center top 10 could be bold, but I guarantee it'll be in our top plays brought to you by Currency, as you see it on our Madison County Bank Instant Replay. That'll be in the top plays, I'm sure.
That better be in our top plays.
2 away for leadoff hitter Andy Cisneros Jr. has been kept busy in center field, made all 3 outs. His putouts back in the bottom of the fifth just a little bit ago. Takes a strike, 0-1. He's 1 for 2 on the evening, singled to start the ball game and grounded out to short in the third.
Yeah, you got to be impressed with his defense thus far.
That one's fouled
Made a
off
couple
right
plays
side.
where he's really had to track him down, had a couple of really nice at-bats. Just a solid performance thus far for Andy Cisneros.
No balls, 2 strikes. The count to Cisneros Jr. Our fifth inning is brought to you in part by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of your pain, not just the symptoms. No balls, 2 strikes. The windup from Mersick, chopper foul down the left side dugout.
See, I really like that approach right there from Nick Mersick. You're up on a guy, 0-2. Don't fool around. Attack, challenge, and that's exactly what he did with that inside fastball.
Let's see what Cisneros can do here. He's seen a fastball and a breaking ball so far, and he's down 0-2. Sees a breaking ball there. Did he go? He did after the appeal down to first as he went around. Strikeout number 8 for Nick Mersick. And 1-2-3 go the Crop Dusters in their half of the fifth. We'll head to the sixth. 1-0. Crop Dusters in front.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. If your business needs help financing big-ticket items, visit gocurrency.com for details. And by Custom Sports. Represent your school and look good doing it with Custom Sports.
At Farmers Pride, we are proud to work with agricultural producers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. As a farm supply and grain marketing cooperative, we are proud to serve the region's needs of grain, feed, agronomy, energy, and transportation for over 80 years. We help the farmers who feed the world by providing the people, products, and programs to deliver solutions for our customers' success. Farmers Pride, in the field, on your farm, in your community.
The day is done for Jack Everett as we will have a new pitcher in the ballgame. Look at this. More. You talked about it, Andy. You see all the teams coming in from across the state and country.
Yeah, so much fun. I can remember when I was a youngster playing T-shirt, T-ball in Little League, and we would always come to Omaha every year for the opening ceremonies, catch a couple of games, and go to a couple of different camps down here in the Omaha metro area. It really is the home of collegiate baseball, but it also offers so much more than that, and you're seeing some of the opportunities with these youngsters playing in their tournaments and then catching a game here at the Corn Belt League.
And what you're also seeing is Liam Minich loosening up here for the Crop Dusters as he comes in for the first time this season. Andy, it's a big spot, obviously protecting a one-run ball game.
Yeah.
After a really stellar outing from Jack Everett.
It really is. The guy, Liam Minich here. Slim lead, but you have the lead, prime position to go ahead and get yourself a save early on in this season.
And Minich comes into this one. Rochester Community College and Technical College as he comes in, as we said, for Jack Everett. Flawless, Andy. 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, shutout baseball, no runs, no earned runs, struck out 5, walked 3.
Oh, and he puts one right in the middle of the back of Matchin to start things off. Not the opening pitch he was looking for, you got to imagine.
Yeah, that is not the entrance I think Liam Minich wanted to make on the mound to start the ball game and start his summer. As we talked about, it's his first trip to the mound this season.
Now another left-hander, so going back-to-back left-handers here for the Crop Dusters. And I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it.
And brings up Christensen. First pitch to him here, outside.
Good velocity, real good velocity, though, from Minich.
1 ball, no strikes. Kick and deal, upstairs, and it's 2-0.
But that's 3 straight balls now for Minich. He's got to locate, he's got to settle down and get something in the zone here.
And you know what goes well with a tailgate if you're going to the College World Series this weekend?
Certified Piedmontese?
I would say so. I would say so.
Give me that tomahawk steak.
That would sound great. It's healthy, powerful nutrition to play at your best. shipped right to your doorstep anywhere in the country. Order at cpbeef.com. If you do, I can guarantee you will not be disappointed. But that's a little disappointing if you're a crop duster fan. That one nearly catching Christensen in the helmet. It's a 4-pitch walk, and the first two batters Minich faces are aboard.
Yeah, 2 opening walks here. Yeah, almost took the helmet right off the third baseman, Christensen.
Brings up Max Torres. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout, but can make up for that right here with a base hit to tie the ball game for the Railriders, but he takes one upstairs, 1-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, Minich just cannot find the zone right now. Nearly hit 2 batters, 2 opening walks, and
he's yet to throw a strike. That continues as that one's high and outside, 2-0. Time is called. Peterson going to go out and have a conversation with his relief pitcher.
Yeah, and that's a good choice there from the catcher. Go ahead and use one of those timeouts. Get out there, settle down your relief pitcher. Nothing hurt as of yet, but I mean, we're 2-0 count and opening 2 base runners on board.
2 balls, no strikes. On first base, Christensen. On second, Machin.
And this is one of those counts that you love to be in if you're a batter. This 2-0 count here, you know that pitcher's got to come to you.
2-0. That's the first strike thrown by Minich since he came into the ball game at the top of the inning as it's lifted foul by Torres. Count 2-1.
Yeah, just a little behind it, but that's something we had mentioned. Minich has good velocity, good speed on his fastball.
2-1.
Uh-oh.
Pop-up bunt, playable behind the plate for Peterson. He takes a glance at first and second, but Christensen and Steven Machin stay put, and it goes down as a pop-out for the first out of the inning.
Man, I really like the idea. They're trying to work those runners over, take the double play off the table as well. Just poor execution as we have a big right-hander here warming up.
Yeah, and you
got
to think that was coming there because this has not been an ideal start for Minich on the mound as Alex Beeman out of Mountain Mercy begins to loosen. How much leash do you give Minich here, Andy?
Not much.
Yeah.
I mean, not much at all.
1-0. It's now 2-0. So he does get an out after the bunt pop-up. But now, again, down 2-0.
And even that bunt pop-up, there was a lot of luck there because that was elevated. Torres just thought he could get on top of it, unable to do so. And I think it being such a high pitch out of the zone, it kind of hurt the batter trying to get that bunt down.
Now it's 3 balls, no strikes. Still just 1 out in the inning, and it came in the last batter. And we have time as Wes King goes out and has a conversation with his relief pitcher. So, obviously, Wes King has seen what's transpired here in the top of the 6th inning, and that's a hit by pitch on the shoulder, and that was Machin. Then a 4-pitch walk to Christensen with a 4th pitch of that at-bat. Nearly took his head off, and then a pop-up bunt pop-out, I guess you could say. So what do you think the message is to his relief pitcher?
Once again, I think it's a real simple message from King. Throw strikes. We don't want to pull you. We want to get you a couple innings work, give you that opportunity for the save, but we can't take much more here. This is 3-0. You got to come back with a strike. If you fill up the bases with 3 consecutive walks, you really leave us no choice but to pull you and give Beeman the opportunity here.
And we'll see what happens here. 3-0. Beeman stays in the ball game and gets a strike on the outside part, upper part of the strike zone. Might have been a friendly strike there from the home plate umpire.
Yeah, I kind of felt that was a little bit off the plate, but
it might have been a confidence boost for Minich. 3-1, and for the first time, he gets a swinging strike, something other than a foul ball or a pop-out. And it's 3-2 now to Schaefer, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout back in the second. The 3-2 just gets a piece of it straight back.
Schaefer had to make that adjustment real quick because he was behind that one, able to get just enough to foul it back.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Big spot here. Schaefer is 0 for 2. A strikeout in the second, a pop-out to center in the 4th. And he comes in with an opportunity to tie the game. The 3-2 upstairs, and the bases are loaded with 1 out here in the sixth for the Railriders. They still trail by a run.
And now we're going to see head coach Micah Blackman come out and probably pull his young pitcher. And, I mean, that wasn't even anywhere near the zone. You would have liked to seen something at least challenging, giving the batter something to think about.
We'll step aside as the pitching change is made. Bases loaded, still just one out. Beeman coming in here for the Crop Dusters.
Heart and Vascular team at Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute has spent the last 22 years focused on providing the highest level of heart care possible. With over 24,000 patients seen in the last 2 years alone, we know cardiac care by heart. Today, we offer the most advanced practices and technology to patients in
If we had the money, Andy wouldn't do it.
communities, ensuring easier access to cardiology services. With specialists focusing on heart failure, vascular diseases, thoracic surgery, abnormal heart rhythms, and general cardiology, you can count on our heart experts to collaborate to provide you with the best care possible. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute, keeping a pulse on the hearts of Nebraska for over 2 decades, is the Faith difference.
New pitcher in the ball game, and it is Eric Beeman, another pitcher who has not seen any action on the mound this season for West King and Company. And he comes in with the bases loaded, just one out, Andy. Big spot.
It really is. And an opportunity here for Eric Beeman to get that save. They still have, Railriders haven't manufactured that run yet. If you can just get something down on the ground, that double play ball is in play for the infield right here. That's what I'm thinking if I'm Beeman.
And all starts with getting Chris Bullifer off the plate as he comes in for his third trip to the plate. 0 for 1, a walk in the second, a strikeout in the fourth. Of course, stay tuned after the ball game for our player of the game, which is brought to you in part by Nebraska Orthopedic Center. We've got some candidates, but a lot could change that.
Yes,
1-0. Hit high in the air towards left field, but short. Keski with a sprint over into foul territory, and it's just out of his reach, and it's 1-1.
Bollifer just you couldn't straighten that one out enough, just pulled that one far enough foul, but it actually kept him out of harm's way. Otherwise, that might have been tracked down for that second out. Boy, and you mentioned that walk he had earlier in the game. He would take that right now. Good for an RBI.
Yeah, Bollifer with 5 RBIs. That's tied for the team lead with 3 other players, but he has the best percentage with runners in scoring position, batting just over 300, so he's good in this spot. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Swung big time at a curveball, and it's 1-2.
Boy, and that had some nice movement on it there from Beeman. Inside, outside, swing and a miss.
Eric Beeman, like Minich, who just came out after issuing 3 walks and a hit by pitch, is in for his first trip to the mound this season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beeman looking for his first strikeout, but it won't come here. It's lined up the middle, off the glove of Barrett. 1 run is across. Everybody else stays put, but we are tied here in the top of the 6th.
Squared that one up beautifully, shot it right back up over the pitcher's head. It looked like Barrett was going to have a play on it. Ricochets off his glove. Good for that up the middle hit, and RBI to knot things up here in the bottom of the 5th.
And that gives Bollifer the team lead in RBIs with 6 on the year. And the bases remain loaded after Josh Francisco holds Christensen at third base. The bases are still loaded with 1 out for Josh Cuniff, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to straightaway center. First pitch, upstairs.
And excuse me, Jake, I said bottom of the fifth. I was living in the past. It's the top of the
Top
sixth.
of the sixth, correct. Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tie ball game here after the single by Bolifer. 1-0 is in there for a strike, 1-1.
But it had been a really tough pitch to handle for Cundiff as he was kind of crowding the plate. Thought that was a little too inside, and umpire saying, well, you might be a little lined up too close to home plate.
Our 6th inning brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman. Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stop in to their Lincoln or Grand Island locations and help your jewelry dreams come true. 2 balls, 1 strike.
We got to talk to their marketing department, right? I mean, we're at the Diamond. They sell diamonds. There's got to be a pun out there somewhere.
That's a great point. I never thought of that, but I like where you're going with that, Andy Klassen. 2-1, it's in there for a strike.
It's right there. It's on deck. We got to get a hold of those guys.
I like that a lot.
2-2. Heck of a job here by Eric Beeman getting back ahead in this count.
2-2. Popped up towards center. Cisneros has stayed busy tonight. He makes a catch here. Nobody coming home. The good throw by Cisneros was on the money. Otherwise, that might have been the lead go-ahead run.
Yeah, but Cisneros really put that one on a rope, just kind of showcasing his arm, reassuring the base runners, don't try it.
So it brings up T.J. Swaney. Bases still loaded with 2 outs.
Mentioned how Swaney's one of those versatile players here for the Railriders. Plays first base, third base, also does some pitching.
Pitch to him upstairs, and it's 2-0. Everything you could ask for in some Thursday night baseball on News Channel Nebraska. Beeman. Delivers. This one's fouled off.
Oh, Swaney got the pitch he was looking for. Just turned on it a little early. Ripped it into the dugout there. The opposing team, that being the Omaha Crop Dusters.
1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes now after a swing and a miss.
Got him out in front there with the off-speed pitch, and it was well off the plate, showing you that movement that Eric Beeman can put on some of his junk balls, those off-speed pitches.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by United Healthcare. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ball is in the dirt. It gets away, and that scores a run, and a runner is aboard. Ball goes through the wickets of Peterson, and it's a 2-1 Railriders lead.
Are you kidding me? That's baseball right there. You get the punch out, the strikeout, but it ends up working against you as it gets in the dirt. Peterson, who's been doing a fabulous job behind the plate, can't come up with it, can't get the play at first or at home. And the Railriders take the lead on a strikeout, James.
Pass ball, RBI. You don't see that too many times. So everybody advances. The bases remain loaded.
And not only do they take the lead on a strikeout, but that should have been the 3rd and final out.
Yeah. And how do you score this? I mean, who's at fault here? Is that Peterson behind the plate, or was it the pitch? I mean, I think you get the swinging strike. It's got to go against the catcher.
I think it does have to go against Peterson here.
So Gardino to the plate, 1-0, and that one just nibbles the outside part, and it's 1-1.
But this is where Eric Beeman just has to get above it. You know, he's got to deliver a couple more pitches here, help himself out, maybe generate another grounder.
1-1 fouled off. You see that? We still got the baseball from the foul off right in front of us here in the chain link fence.
I noticed it. that really speaks to Mercick and the velocity he was pitching with, because, I mean, he was throwing some heat
here
tonight.
And if you're just joining us, what happened was we had a Foul ball ripped straight back, and it's stuck halfway up one of the chain link fences here behind home plate.
Just stuck halfway through the fence.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. Railriders have taken the lead off a drop third strike that got to the backstop. That went inside, count even at 2 now to Gardino. Not every day you see a strikeout lead to a run.
Right.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that probably should have been what happened just an at-bat before, but a strikeout leads to a run score, and the Railriders have taken a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th on News Channel Nebraska.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the nonstop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
At Elkhorn Valley Bank, we believe in local. It's something we live by. It's something we're proud of. It's helping our neighbors grow like they've helped us. Supporting families, investing in lives, and creating prosperity. Local means making decisions that grow and improve surrounding communities we call home. Investing in our nonprofits and giving back. Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, great for you, great for your community.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field here as we had a little shift at the top. Railriders took the lead there in the top of the 6th, 2-1. Things still real tight. We're going to have the Omaha Crop Dusters take a hack at it here, try to get back up on top or at least tie things up, knot things up. We're going to see Ben Keski, young man playing college ball for Iowa Central Community College, leading things off here for the Crop Dusters.
You still got Mercick in the ball game, Andy.
Well, he's been cruising. He's been having pretty good location. You know, that one run, you know, some things didn't go his way. You had that one pop-up that looked like the center fielder just kind of misplayed it a little bit, came in on it, got over his head. You kind of brush that up. Crop Dusters might be up, or Railriders might be up 2-0 rather than 2-1.
Right. And his only run he's allowed came unearned after Ben Keski, who's at the plate now, reached on an error by Christensen at third base, 1-1.
Jumped up. Yeah, I don't know why. I thought it was tighter, but I guess not.
1-1. This one's charged to left field by Keski, unfortunately, right at Torres, and that's out number 1. The 6th inning on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you in part by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stop in to their Lincoln or Grand Island locations and help your jewelry dreams come true.
Boy, Torres had a beat on that right off the bat. Just stood there, wait, catch it. That was a well-hit ball. There's a little too much underneath of it, and right at Torres, as you mentioned, Jake.
That brings up Cade Perry, who comes into this one with a rough night on his scorecard. An inning-ending double play in the first, 5-4-3, and then a strikeout in the 4th.
And it's getting to that part of the game where, you know, you're starting to count your outs that are left. You're running out of outs to get that run, get back on top.
One upstairs, and it's a ball and a strike.
But you mentioned it, this is the 3rd time Perry has seen Mercick. And you see those stats just really drop for a pitcher once that, you know, that lineup gets through you one time, they get to look at you a second time, especially a third. That's where the ERA starts to climb and the batting average also climbs.
2-1 here, and that one is in there for a strike. Nope, stays outside since the home plate umpire. 3-1. They did call that a strike, Andy Klassen. 2-2.
And that's all right with me. I would rather see an expanded strike zone and kind of coax these batters into getting the lumber off their shoulder a little bit here.
2-2 fouled off straight back. Perry not wanting to strike out again and have a rough night continue.
Yeah, that's a great point. Perry protecting the plate, fouling one off there, extending this at bat.
Made a couple of nice plays at third base, but his night at the plate has not gone according to plan. But he could change that here with one swing of the bat. The 2-2. Off the plate for a ball, and the count is full, 3-2.
Boy, that was a good eye. That was good plate discipline right there from Cade Perry, as you mentioned, because he was in full protect mode, able to lay off the trigger there, fill this count up, 3-2.
As Andy mentioned, count full with one out. The 3-2 is ball 4. Home plate umpire put his hand up, but it was outside and one aboard with one out.
That was kind of a double take there because it was a little low, little outside. Wasn't sure if it caught the plate or not when he put his hand up. Was that the strikeout or was that the take your base? Fortunate for Perry, it was a take your base.
So it brings up Tyler Bishop, the soon-to-be UNO Maverick. He comes into this one 0 for 1, a walk back in the 4th, and a ground out to third in the 2nd. This one's on the ground towards short. Could be 2. Blip onto second for 1. Back over to first, and it's an inning-ending double play for the second time tonight. The Railriders are able to turn 2, and it ends the 6th inning. We'll head to the 7th. Railriders leading at 2-1.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
To J.J. Isaacson Field. There you see Eric Beam getting ready to try and keep this game right where it's at for the Crop Dusters and give themselves a shot in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, he got put in a really tough spot the inning before. He did a pretty darn good job limiting the damage, didn't he? And he also had kind of a goofy play work against him where he did strike out the side, but that was the go-ahead RBI on the pass ball.
Third strike.
And I want to go back to that play from shortstop Peyton Blinn. That was a tough play up the middle. He was able to cup it with his glove there, real soft hands and real quick. Get it over to the second baseman like that for the double play to get the Railriders out of trouble there in the 6th.
The second double play turn by the Railriders tonight. Did it in the first inning to end that inning as well. First pitch inside for a ball to Carson Chaprez.
You can't overstate how valuable having a strong middle infield is. Shortstop, second baseman, good communication, good gloves, good soft hands.
And that's from every level of baseball up and down. I mean, obviously you look at the MLB and there's been some great duos in the middle infield there, but it also helps at any other level.
It sure does. And, I mean, the building blocks of any good team, right? Good pitching, good fielding, and you can get a lot of outs on those grounders hit back up the middle between the shortstop and second base.
2-1 the count, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Our post game will be brought to you in part by Sarpy County Tourism as well as Ken's You Save Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all of our customers. And Andy, we'll have a good post-game show. Obviously, we're going to have a coaches interview, players interview, and again, for the second straight week, we're going to have a tough time picking who that top player might be.
You know, we really are. There's a couple players to choose from, really from both sides, and it's a suspenseful game, so we don't even know which team we're going to be talking to yet.
3-2 is upstairs, and there it is, the dreaded leadoff walk. Beeman issues his first walk of the ball game. in the 6 batters he's faced, but not where you wanted here at the top of the 7th with the Railriders already up a run. Pinch runner coming in as well.
Yeah, and Beeman did a really nice job of battling early on, getting in front of that count, getting on top of the batter, and he just kind of let that one slip, a couple wayward pitches. And as you mentioned, that's tough. Leadoff walk, and then we're late in the game, so you can go ahead and get aggressive as the Railriders are with a speedy pinch runner here.
Eden Zachary comes in, 4 stolen bases on the year. First pitch here to Peyton Blinn. Swings through an off-speed pitch, 0-1. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. It's the only time he's reached base. Struck out in the 1st. Flew out to center in the 5th.
Blinn was sitting on a fastball. Beeman gave him that changeup. Was way out in front of it.
The 0-1. And there goes Zachary down to second. Ball gets through the glove of the shortstop, Houselong, but Barrett is there to back it up. It goes down as a stolen base. Runner on second.
Not surprised at all, and I'm okay with that. Head coach Francisco getting aggressive, saying, hey, we got a lead. We got our speedster on first base. Nobody out. Let's roll the dice and see if we can get him over there in that scoring position over on second.
Peyton Blinn comes in, 1-1. Now it's a runner on second. It was runner on first when he took the plate. Chopper hit towards first. Pfizer steps on the bag, and that's a job well done. I think if you're Peyton Blinn, get that runner to third base with just 1 out.
And also Pfizer staying back on it, securing the out, not trying to get cute and charging it, maybe gun the guy down on third. No, just take the out. Get that first out in this spot.
Yep. And that brings up Steven Machin. Machin comes into this one having reached base with a walk in the 1st and a hit by pitch in the 6th. He did score in that last inning in the 6th, so we'll see what he can do here with a runner on third. The kick and deal, Machin fouls one off right side, 0-1.
Almost had a catch there from the bullpen. Troy Flowers, a catcher for the Railriders, nearly came up with it.
Still no action in the Railriders bullpen. A couple of guys up with a glove, but that's about it. The 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1. Our 7th inning brought to you in part by Columbus Community Hospital. Experience excellence at Columbus Community Hospital, where your health is their top priority. 1 ball, 1 strike, infield in at all 4 bases. This one popped up towards right field. Beneke coming in, makes the catch. He had a full head of steam as he did so, but he does make the catch and throws it in to hold the runner at third base.
And he had to keep that glove kind of in the scoop position there. Had to go down and get it, as you mentioned, full bore on the run. Makes the catch and leaves nothing up to chance, hurls it towards home.
It'll be up to Kenneth Christensen out of St. Cloud State to continue the inning. He is 1 for 2 with a flyout, a single, one of just 4 hits for the Railriders tonight. He walked and scored in the 6th.
And if he can get this run across somehow, some way, that would be one heck of an insurance run manufactured by the Railriders here in this final inning.
Swings the first pitch, fouls it off the fencings behind home plate, 0-1.
Opening walk, you bring in a pinch runner, you get the stolen base, you work him over with a fly ball, and this is what you were hoping for. This is why you brought in the pitch runner. This is why you rolled the dice and stole that base, to get your batter Christensen, the third baseman, in this position.
The 0-1. Ball in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Third pitcher in the ball game for the Crop Dusters. Jack Everett, 5 innings, shutout baseball. He allowed 3 hits. 1-1, swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2.
I'll tell you what, some of those curveballs, the off-speed pitches there from Beeman, there is so much movement on it. You really got to like what you see. If you're the pitching coach, King, over there for the Crop Dusters.
Eric Beeman looking to keep the game right where it's at. Pitch away from doing that, but we'll have to see one more pitch as that one fouled off straight back by Kenneth Christensen.
Keeping that bat at live. Christensen fouling off another one. Still Pretty far behind though in the count though here. 1-2. He's going to have to protect. And Eric Beeman, he can throw any one of those pitches he wants.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Beeman is able to work around the leadoff walk and strand the runner on third base as the Crop Dusters will look to reach win number 4. They have 3 outs to do it. We'll head to the 7th. This is Corn Belt League Baseball on NCN.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
Claybaugh Pharmacy provides you with all the pharmacy options a person would need. As a full-service pharmacy, we give you all the traditional options, but also have the modern technology to maintain your profiles. Maybe you're busy. Head to ClaybaughPharmacy.com. Click on Online Refills to get your prescriptions filled from the convenience of your home. Claybaugh Pharmacy and Gift Shop, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Whether you play on a field, or play on a court, or are running to greatness, during the game and after the game, during the wins and during the losses, Agri City Insurance has you covered. Here to help you ensure what matters most. Agri City Insurance.
Well, there he is. That is a look at Curtis Flint, the hard-throwing left-hander who is coming on in relief of Nick Mersick here in the 7th inning. The numbers on Flint through 4 innings and 3 games, 9 strikeouts and an ERA of 0. Comes in for Mersick and Andy Klassen. Mersick was outstanding. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. He allowed 1 run that came unearned.
Yeah, just phenomenal stuff. He really was working the lower half of the zone, and when a pitcher can locate like that, you get a lot of ground balls as we see an opening hit by pitch, opening walk here from Flint.
Yeah,
not exactly the way.
Pfizer with a hit by pitch. It's not a way to follow up a really nice outing, is it?
No, it's not, but you got to think Flint's going to bounce back with an ERA of 0, I think you said, and 9 punch-outs thus far.
Yeah, and that's not through just a few games. I mean, he's been in 3 games.
Right.
He does have 2 saves on the year as well. Brings up Beneke, Cooper Beneke, the right fielder out of Midland, just up the road in Fremont. He is 1 for 1 with a single, and he hit into a fielder's choice. First pitch is off the plate, ball, 1-0.
Yeah, this is where Flint, I mean, this is his game, though. You got to think he's a kind of a flamethrower, one of those shutdown closers. Probably more comfortable throwing from the stretch as he's throwing from right here.
1-0. Ball in the dirt. It skips over the catcher Cunniff's glove, and that moves Pfizer up 90 feet to second base.
Okay, this is where Curtis Flint really has to hone in his level of focus. It has somehow, some way, it has to go up a notch here. He has to deliver something across the plate here. He's got to find that strike zone.
Been unable to do that so far.
And I mean, it's much easier said than done. I've been out there before where I couldn't throw a strike either, so I know what he's going through.
2-0. Upstairs, and it's 3-0.
And that's tough on these guys that, you know, rely on their fastball and that high heat. If they can't get a couple of early strikes, that kind of leads the batters to go ahead and force them to come to them. And if you can't locate, you're going to see a lot of balls being thrown.
Base hit ties the game for the Crop Dusters. And that's ball 4. So an opening hit by pitch and a 4-pitch walk puts runners on first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. 1-run ball game.
And now you're starting to hear the dugout and the crowd behind the the crop dusters come to life a little bit as we have a meeting at the mound here for the Railriders. You knew it had to get tight at the end of this one.
Well, and it's been tight the whole way through.
Yeah.
I mean, it really has
Yep.
been. This has been a pitcher's game, and boy, you've been treated to 2 phenomenal ball games in the first 2 weeks of the Corn Belt League on NCN Sports.
Yes, we really have, and that's what we've been saying all along. This is our 3rd season covering the Corn Belt League. These are competitive games, and they matter. These are meaningful games to these guys. Each and every one of these players, they're looking to improve their game during the offseason, work on the things that their collegiate coach, just as Commissioner Joe C. was talking about. During that exit interview, the head coach of all these different universities and colleges, community colleges, you need to work on A, B, and C. And when you enter into a league like that, like this Summer Collegiate League, it allows you to go ahead and hone in on your skills.
You got a pinch hitter in the ball game coming in for Chase Houselog, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, is Max Mosser out of Augustana in South Dakota. So we'll see what he can do here. First pitch, going to throw back to second base and back safely. Not by much, though, is Pfizer.
Not by much, but even on the throwback, man, Flint is bringing the heat. Got that ball to second base in a hurry.
Mosser into pinch run. Excuse me, pinch hit, that is. One in the dirt, and it's another ball, 1-0.
Saw Mosser square around there looking to bunt. Just work those 2 batters over 90 feet. Let the next guy try and hit him around, hit him in. I like this move.
1-0 to Mosser, shows bunt. Pulls it back, and it's 1-1.
This is just really good coaching here from head coach Micah Blackman for the Crop Dusters. Understanding the situation, situational baseball. You hear that all the time. 0 outs, 2 runners on board. You erase the double play, and you also get 2 guys in scoring position with 2 opportunities with only 1 out, if this bunt can be executed.
1-1, bunt foul. Makes contact that time, does Mosser, and it's 1-2.
And it's okay. Well, now with those 2 strikes, he's probably not going to square around anymore.
2-1 ball game, nobody out, runners on first and second. A tying run stands on second base. Flint thought about the 1-2, near balk territory there. He stepped off, looked at second base, comes back. One and 2. And called strike 3. Mosser knew it. Dropping in a changeup is Curtis Flint, and there's one gone, a big one.
Yeah, kind of confused him, caught him looking right there. He was probably thinking fastball, all that movement, just a lot of hesitation there up at the plate. Good for a strikeout. That first critical out here for the Railriders.
Trevor Unger going to come on and pinch hit here. Unger, he's looking for his first hit of the season. He comes in for Will Barrett, who's 0 for 2 with strikeouts as well.
And a nice job taking that opening pitch, getting ahead in the count. 1 ball, 0 strikes.
Getting ahead in the count before, and the at-bat prior was Mosser. He went down on strikes. 1 out, runners on first and second. Changeup drops in. And I believe, did they call that a strike or a ball, Andy Class? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either, and we haven't seen anything from the score clock either, from the official board.
Well, it's 1-1, says the scoreboard here. You see that on our Currency and Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
Well, that's off the plate, 2-1. You know, I wouldn't be against Unger trying to lay down a bunt if that's part of his game at the plate, because you still got the same scenario, moving 2 runners over into scoring position with 1 more at bat, you know, with 1 more out to play with.
Well, it's called 2-1. The kick and deal. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Boy, and that one looked like it had a lot of movement on it, too. Just
Sure
kept
did.
sliding in towards the batter. You even saw Unger kind of step out of that one, trying to make contact.
Unger looking for his first hit and RBI of the year. If he gets that, it'll tie the game. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Curtis Flint, and the Railriders are an out away.
And Flint's changing gears here. He was relying on that heat. That now he's going back to his curveball. You just saw the bottom drop out of that one. Good for the second out here as the Railriders are trying to close out this one in the seventh.
And the Crop Dusters will stick with Elliot Peterson after pinch hitting the first two batters of the inning. Peterson's hit the ball hard twice, ground out to third, and a line out on a rope to right. They're going to trust that he can hit the ball hard again here. Outfield fairly deep all the way around.
And that's all right. You can be conservative out in the outfield here. You don't want to let anything get over your head in this spot.
Kick and deal.
That's in there.
That's it. A sinker drops in. It's 0-1.
You know, this kind of reminds me of Jack Everett, who, you know, had his troubles early on, but he found a way to get out. So I kind of feel like that's what Curtis Flint is going through here. He wanted to throw heat. It was off the plate. He's kind of gone to a couple different looks, a couple different pitches, and he's found some success.
0-1 in the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike. We'll see if those two strikeouts push the momentum to a max here for Curtis Flint. Elliot Peterson, the only person standing in the way of win number 4 on the season. Excuse me, win number 5 on the season, that is for the Railriders. Right here, the 1-1 upstairs, and it's 2-1. Peterson 0 for 2. Ground out to third and a line out hit hard to right. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Nice pitch.
And that's in there for a strike. Curveball drops in, and it's 2-2.
And this is exactly where head coach Jonathan Francisco wants to be. He's got his lefty-righty matchup. He's got a fresh arm out on the bump, and a pitcher's count, 2-2. 2-2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs makes up that 2-2-2 with runners on first and second. 2-1 game. And a pitch inside, 3-2. Nearly caught a piece of Peterson's knee. It stays off, and it's a full count.
Right idea, though. I like going inside in that spot. You had a pitch to work with. You fill it up here, though.
Full count with 2 outs. A 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curtis Flint, after putting the first 2 men aboard via hit by pitch and a walk, sets down the next 3 on strikes, and the Railriders win it 2-1.
Excellent job. Gritty performance there from both starting pitcher Nick Mersick and then the closer Curtis Flint coming in and shutting things down after allowing the first 2 base runners on board. Took full control there, found something in his curveball.
We'll step aside. Andy Klassen will catch up with player of the game, head coach, as well as we'll take a look at some of the top plays. Railriders win it 2-1 tonight in Corn Belt League Baseball on NCN.
The pregame show is brought to you by Norfolk Auto Center, Northeast Nebraska's volume leader, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
At Unity Eye Centers in Norfolk, their focus is on you. As the leading provider of optometry with advanced diagnostics and equipment, they can ensure your eye health is their top priority. A quick glance at their frame area will show you that you can have style as well as function, with plenty of frames to choose from. Their mission is to educate patients and provide cutting-edge technology and exceptional service with personalized care. Come to Unity Eye Centers in Norfolk to clearly see the difference. Why? Because your eyes deserve it.
Other companies have the revolving door. Every time we come into Schaefer's, it's always the same people. And the big thing to me is they know you by name. They know who you are, which makes a person like myself feel just warm and welcome here. And that's what's great about Schaefer's.
Schaefer's has the essential Whirlpool appliances you need, from refrigerators and air fry ranges to laundry pairs to keep your clothes clean and sanitized at everyday low prices. At Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Certified Piedmontese Beef, Real Nebraska Beef, Region 4 Behavioral Health System, affordable, accessible, quality mental health and substance abuse services, and by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
The first time I ever took prescription opioids is when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. I think I was 16 years old. I must have gotten a 30-day script. I took them all in 3 days. I was stealing from people, buying substances on the street. I look back at that time with a lot of shame. That's not who I am. Opioid use disorder is not a moral failing.
Storefronts, pop-up shops, food trucks, and digital retail. The way we do business is ever-changing, and so are we. Madison County Bank's business lending team is constantly evolving to support and provide new information to our business and commercial customers. We understand that your business is truly unique. We are ready to find the business banking services that fit your needs best. Madison County Bank, here to help you grow.
A great night from Nick Mercick on the mound. 6 innings of 1 run, no earned run baseball with 8 strikeouts helps power the Railriders to a 2-1 win over the Omaha Crop Dusters. Andy Klassen is going to catch up with player and coach down on the field. Andy, take it away.
All righty, joined by Railriders winning head coach Jonathan Francisco. Great name, by the way. Thank you. And what does it say about your team? You guys were down early, but you just kept grinding. Mind when the winning pitch or the go-ahead pitch came on a strikeout.
Oh, it was a big relief. I was getting gray hairs in that dugout over there watching these guys. I was like, oh no, here we go. But we pulled it out.
Well, you guys are on quite a roll right now. A 4-0 run. What has to continue for the Railriders to continue this run?
Pitching is key. We showed it today. I mean, Nick threw really well. Curtis out of the bullpen, he's big for us. So I think pitching is our key to winning.
And what's the mindset you want your pitchers to have? Because I thought Mercick did a really nice job using his defense, especially those middle infielders.
Mindset, just get outs. Go out there, throw outs. We don't need a strikeout at all times, but, as long as we're getting outs, we're going to be in this game.
And you had a couple key at-bats, a couple gritty at-bats. I mean, you weren't like just batting the ball around the yard, but when you needed someone to come up and put lumber on the ball, they were able to execute. What's behind that?
We've been scrappy. I mean, as you saw, we had a few, 5-6 pitch at-bats today. I mean, that's what I want our guys to do is fight. When they get down in the count, just foul off, because you know what? They're going to get their pitch sooner or later.
And you mentioned Nick Mercick just a moment ago. What can you tell me about tonight's player of the game? Almost pitched a full game for you, and then you brought in your flamethrower closer to close it out.
Yeah. I mean, I had Nick pitch for me last year, and he was always great for me. And when he came back this year, I knew I had a solid pitcher in Nick. So I always go to him in the big spots, and he proved me right tonight.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game. Well, Nick Mercick, I got to go down this stat line because you were phenomenal. 6-inning pitch, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 0 earned runs. I mean, what was working for you out on the bump? Because it looked like everything.
I knew if I could get my off speed landed in there for first pitch strike, then just make them put it in play and the defense would take care of it.
what I was kind of marveling at was your quick delivery. I mean, you don't have a high leg kick. You really, no wasted motion. You work it right in there. And I think that gets ahead of batters because they're not ready for you. Is there something behind that?
No, I just do it. If there's a runner on first, I just try to be quick to give the catcher a good chance to throw him out.
And what can you tell me about those double plays in key spots? I mean, the 6th inning, things were getting really close there, and you got another ball on the ground up the middle to close out the side.
I just knew if I kept it low in the zone, it would give us a chance to turn 2, and our defense just took care of it.
Now, I mentioned it to Coach Francisco. I'm going to ask you as well. You guys are on a 4-game winning streak. What do you guys have to keep doing out on the diamond to continue this winning streak?
Just like you said, pitching is key and just finding ways to score runs when we can.
Thank you for your time. Congratulations on the game.
Thank you.
All right, let's send it back up to Jake in the booth to wrap this one up.
Go, as well as Nick Mercick. And again, the numbers on Nick Mercick, I mean, he was absolutely outstanding tonight.
It's like waiting for him to
ask for much more. 6 innings, allowing 1 run. It came unearned. He allowed 3 hits and struck out 8. 8 of 11 total strikeouts this evening for the Railriders. There you see it on our scoreboard, 2-1 Railriders over the Crop Dusters. Let's get a look at our top plays tonight. Low-scoring ball game, so there weren't a ton of them. I mean, just 2 runs put up by the team who took the hardware in this one, and just 1 run put up by the Crop Dusters as it's a 2-1 win for the Railriders. As Andy mentioned, they go on a 4-game winning streak. As we'll get a look at our top plays here. Our top plays brought to you in part by Currency. If you need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers, all you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. So here we go. To the 4th inning we go. It was not a ton of highlights early on here. Here you see a straightaway fly to center field by Max Pfizer. That is his first hit and first RBI of the summer. Schaefer misplays it in center field. Coming home to trot in for an unearned run was Ben Keski, who reached on an error by Christensen at third base, and that was the first run of our ball game. That takes us to the 5th, and this one hit towards right field. This is a drive to right and a beautiful play in right field. That's one you hang a star on right there. Peterson takes away a base hit from the Peterson on the other side, the catcher for the Crop Dusters. This one up the middle, that's a base hit. That scores a run for the Railriders, who get on the board 1-1. Bases loaded here. This is something you just don't see every day. Swing and a miss for a strikeout by Beeman. And then ball goes through the wickets of Peterson. It's a drop third strike strikeout that gives the Railriders the lead. 2-1 ball game. We head to the 7th. Curtis Flint on the mound. Walked the first 2 batters with a hit by pitch. Gets the strikeout of Peterson to end the ball game. And the Railriders celebrate their 4th straight win, improving to 5-3. 2-1 is your final on News Channel Nebraska. We'll be back next week for another edition of Corn Belt League Baseball. Big thanks to everybody back in our truck, our live events producer, Tyler Brasovsky. For color analyst extraordinaire, Andy Claston, I'm Jake Bartecki. We'll talk to you next week.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.